I am Prashant Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel Sociocratic. We are discussing about the strengths and social science, history, Indian history. In this Indian history, Indian freedom movement is an important and vibrant chapter. And here we come across the kings who fought against the foreign occupation. In the beginning actually. But these fights were guided by their political goals. They fought against the foreign occupation. It can be considered as the beginning of nationalism. It's the first half. Second half. Then the second half of the 19th century, many developments like expansion of roads, expansion of English education, journalism, birth of cultural associations. This is common. In those days, we witnessed that one. And people suffered a lot because of famine, hardship. And because of the British rule, they faced the hardship. And farmers and tribal agitation, which we observed already, we discussed about that. And Indians who suffered in the hands of the East India Company, they put a strong resistance. That resistance was the First War of Indian Independence in 1857. British called this as Sepoy Mutiny. That First War of Indian Independence in 1857 resulted in the end of East India Company in 1858. And British Queen's rule started. With the implementation of Act of 1861, Indians participated in the legislation process. It's a slow development, that one. And educated youth started sharing their ideas of nationalism with the ordinary people. Educated people, they understood the nationalism, they try to spread that nationalism among the common people. So about this freedom movement, the second half, let us discuss today. In this freedom movement, we have to discuss about Indian National Congress. Establishment of Indian National Congress. The educated youth provided leadership to associations. Many associations were formed under the leadership of educated youths. Few examples: the Hindu Mela, All Indian Association, Pune Public Sabha, the Indian Association, etc. And the newspapers published by the educated Indians opposed the stance of the government, the British government. Many problems or the maladministration or the administrative methods of the British were opposed by these newspapers. Many articles they wrote. By looking at this, Lord Lytton implemented the Vernacular Press Act to curb the press, and freedom of press curbed. This led to the establishment of Indian National Congress and National Convention held at Bombay in 1885. So these developments led to the establishment of National Congress. Actually, in 1884, Indian National Council was established. Indian National Association was established. That Indian National Association in 1885 became Indian National Congress. This Indian National Congress was started by A.O. Hume, and W.C. Banerjee, Umesh Chandra Banerjee, became the first president of this Indian National Congress. And actually, A.O. Hume was a retired British civil servant. Why should he start this one? To fight against the British only starting? No, definitely not. They understood the freedom movement, the feeling of nationalism going so fast. It took its dynamic form. They wanted to give this break to the speed of national movement, freedom movement. For that purpose, they started Indian National Congress. Their intention was that. And slowly they wanted to slow down that. You can understand the next part, you can understand that. Yeah. And now we have to discuss about Indian National Congress, its part, aims of Indian National Congress. Why Indian National Congress started? Discussing various issues of public importance with the leaders. With the leaders, they will discuss about the important issues, public issues. Achieving national unity. Achieving unity among the diverse culture and social aspects of India. The leaders of this period had the commitment to achieve unity, mainly to achieve unity. They started this. Yeah. So these are the aims of Indian National Congress. So Indian National Congress put forth its memorandum to the British, and the British employed divide and rule policy to break the unity emerging among the people with the development of nationalism. And between the Hindus and Muslims, they wanted to divide. So this is the basic principle they followed. Now, the Congress leaders, they were the three types. They were of three types. One, moderates, radicals, and revolutionaries. What is this? In the beginning, first 20 years of Indian National Congress was known as the moderate age. The group of Indian National Congress, the group of people of Indian National Congress, or a group of members of Indian National Congress, which adopted constitutional and peaceful means to achieve the objectives. To achieve independence, they selected constitutional and peaceful method, calling a meeting and preparing a memorandum and giving that application to the British to solve the problems of India. If they not solved, again calling the meeting and giving the memorandum. So like this. And they forwarded prayers and requests. See their method, that one. Prayers and requests. Please give. Please do this. Try to bring political awareness among the Indians. Organized public meetings. Discussed upon various issues. Preparing the list of problems and placing that one on the table of the leader, Viceroy or Governor General. This was the method they followed. And what are the demands? These moderates had some demands. Cutting down of military expenditure. Whatever the military expenditure, they have to cut down that. And development of Indian industries. Providing good education. Programs for poverty alleviation. These are the main demands they kept. Actually, they told about the development of Indian industries and agriculture also. And among them, some leaders, W.C. Banerjee, Ramesh Chandra Banerjee, M.G. Ranade, Mahadeva Govinda Ranade, Surendranath Banerjee, Dadabhai Naoroji, Gopalakrishna Gokhale. These are some leaders. Next, Dadabhai Naoroji and R.C. Dutt, they kept one theory, that is a drain theory. What is drain theory? The moderates explained the drain of resources of India into England through scientific statistics is called drain theory. Indian wealth drained towards England. It's a big drainage in which Indian wealth is flowing towards England. How it will go? This was explained by Dadabhai Naoroji and R.C. Dutt. And here, increasing the import and reducing export. From India, import increased and export reduced. By that, what happens? So, unfavorable balance of trade. Because of unfavorable balance of trade, we will face loss. We export raw materials and import finished goods. It is costly. And property earned by the British officers will go to England. Whatever the property they will earn here, that will go to the England. Salary and pension, salary of the British officers, they used to take from India. And pension, after the retirement pension also, those who worked in India, their pension goes from India only. Yes. So this is another way Indian wealth going towards England. So this explanation given by Dadabhai Naoroji, this is called drain theory. Okay, and the period of moderates is called as the age of liberal nationalism, 1885 to 1905, 20 years I told. Next, radicals. Here what happened, some group of congressmen, they felt that the method what the Congress following is not good. We are not beggars. India belongs to Indians. Why should we beg? We have to agitate. We have to force them to give. So such a group of congressmen who criticize the soft stance of moderates, they are called as radicals. They called moderates as political beggars. Among them, Aravinda Ghosh, Bipin Chandra Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Balagangadhar Tilak, Lal Bal Pal, very famous. Lala Lajpat Rai, Balagangadhar Tilak, Pal, Bipin Chandra Pal. These three very famous. Lal, Pal. Okay. And these radicals, why they are extremists we call. So here mainly British wanted to divide Indians. The anti-British sentiment was dominant in Bengal. It had become the center of anti-British protest. And to suppress this anti-British protest, Viceroy Lord Curzon thought of dividing Bengal on the name of administration. In the name of administration, he wanted to divide Bengal. Actually, he wanted to divide Indians, Hindus and Muslims. Bengal had more concentration of Hindus and Muslims. In that, eastern part of Bengal had more Muslims and western part Hindus. So East Bengal, West Bengal divided. To suppress the spirit of national freedom struggle, British divided Bengal. There started the communal clash. We didn't understand this one. So after a few years, in 1905 they divided Bengal. In 1911, withdrawn the division of Bengal. Why? What was the reason for that? Nationwide protest against Bengal division. Radicals took the issue to the doorsteps of common people. Everyone came to know about this. Leaders, they explained that one to the common man. They called for boycotting foreign goods and institutions and adopting domestic goods. Swadeshi movement started there. Because of this, they faced a big loss. Due to the nationwide protest, the British were forced to withdraw the order of division of Bengal. Lord Lytton, he withdraw that one and again merged, but this religion not came together afterwards. Both Hindus and Muslims still today they are fighting. It's a problem. Okay. Among the leaders of radicals, Balagangadhar Tilak very famous. In examination point of view also, it's very important part. He was a famous radical leader. He declared, Swaraj is my birthright and I would definitely get it back. He tried to organize common people of India. To organize common people, he started Ganesha festival, Shivaji Jayanti and Durga festivals. In Maharashtra, it became very famous. Ganesha festival, a big festival, regional festival that one. In the name of festival, people will come together and feeling of oneness will come. So he started that. And to create national feelings among the people, in the minds of the people, he thought pen is mightier than sword. So he published newspapers like Kesari in Marathi language and Marathi in English language. He wrote many articles in that one. He started Home Rule movement. For his radical writings, he was arrested. In jail, he wrote Gita Bhashya. In the prison, he wrote this one. So this is about Balagangadhar Tilak. Next, another group was there. See, moderates, very soft stance. And another group opposed that one and forcing the British important one. But revolution is more than that. Youngsters. A group of congressmen who believed that they can drive away the British by employing violent methods. Tit for tat. And dreamed at attaining complete freedom. We have to attack, we have to kill them. Then only it is possible to get freedom. It was their thinking. Established secret organizations across the country. Collected weapons and conduct armed rebellion against the British. And they made some secret organizations like Abhinava Bharata and Anushilana Samiti. And they used bombs, guns to achieve their goals. Dropping bombs, used guns to kill. They killed many. So by that fear created fear in the minds of the British. And among them the famous leaders Aravind Ghosh, V.D. Savarkar, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, Ashwini Kumar Dutt, Rajguru, Chakikar brothers, Ras Bihari Ghosh, and Madam Kama, Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, the great leaders. They sacrificed their life in their young age for the sake of nation. We have to read their life history. At least to fill national feelings in our mind. Their sacrifice should not become waste. That purpose we have to read their main autobiography or their story, their life's history we have to read. So by this it is possible to develop national feeling. Whatever sacrifice they did, it will not become waste if we follow their ideals and if we protect our nation, whatever they had given to us. So let us work together for the development of nation. Let us give some value for their sacrifice. Thank you. Thank you very much.